Okay, let's have a look at the first question. With any word problem, make sure you read the question carefully. So pause the video here and try to understand what's going on in this question. Now that you've had a chance to read through, let's go through the actual question and find the key pieces of information. A train travels 360 kilometers in 4 hours. What is the average speed of the train in kilometers per hour? So a few bits here and there. So we know that it travels 360 kilometers within a time period of 4 hours. We're being asked to figure out the average speed, and we need to give our answer in this format, kilometers per hour. One core piece of knowledge that you need for this question is to know how to figure out the average speed. And you may be familiar with this triangle, but if not, let's just go through it really quickly. So we've got D, S, and T. D represents total distance. S represents average speed. And T represents time. So to figure out the average speed of the train, all we need to do is to look at the S, right? When we isolate the S, we're left with D over T, which means average speed equals total distance over total time. Essentially, you've done all the hard work now. All you need to do is to fill in the correct pieces of information from the question. So what's the total distance that the train travelled? It's 360 kilometers over the total time period, which is 4 hours. Instantly, you can see that that matches the format or the units that you have to provide for your answer, which is kilometers per hour. And 360 divided by 4, just think of your 4 times tables. How many 4s go into 36, which is 9. And then obviously you can just bring the 0 there. So your answer is 90 kilometers per hour. Pretty straightforward question. Okay, let's move to the next one. Question number 2. Again, pause the video here and take a second to understand what's going on in this question. Okay, now that you've had a chance to read through it, let's go through the key pieces of information we've got here. A cinema sells adult tickets for $18 and child tickets for $12. If a family buys 2 adult tickets and 3 child tickets, how much do they pay in total? Okay, so in this question, we've been told that there are 2 different types of tickets, right? Adult tickets and child tickets, and they cost different amounts. So adult tickets are more expensive, they cost $18, and child tickets cost $12. We know that the family in question wants to buy 2 adult tickets and 3 child tickets. And what's the question asking us to actually figure out? How much they have to pay in total. So, easiest way to do this is use like a 2-step process. So let's think of the adults first. We know that we need 2 adult tickets. So how much are adult tickets? $18, right? So you can do a simple multiplication. 2 times 18, if you're good with your mental maths, you would know that's 36. And if you're a bit unsure and you need to check the answer, you can just do a quick addition on the side, right? Like this. So 8 plus 8 is 16. Bring the 1 over here, and then it's 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So it's 36. So we know that the adults have to pay $36. How many children do we have to buy tickets for? 3 children. So that means we need to do a simple multiplication again, which is 3 times, and how much do the children's tickets cost? They cost $12. So this gives us again 3 times 12, and conveniently, that's also $36. Now, they're not just asking us how much they, spent separately on the tickets, they're asking us the total. So to figure out the total spent, we just need to add these two up, right? So 36 plus 36, we can do this just with simple addition. 6 plus 6 is 12, carry the 1 over, 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. Again, with any question, make sure you provide the units, which are dollars. Your answer is $72. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 3, pause the video here and take a second to read through the question. Okay, now that you've had a chance to read through, let's go through the question and highlight the key pieces of information. The temperature on Monday was 8 degrees Celsius. On Tuesday, it dropped by 12 degrees Celsius. What was the temperature on Tuesday? Okay, Monday we know that it was 8 degrees. Tuesday, we don't know the temperature, we just know that it dropped by 12 compared to Monday, right? When we see the word dropped, we know that's a reduction, or the temperature's gone down. So to figure out the temperature on Tuesday, we know it's the temperature on Monday, which is 8 degrees Celsius, take away 12 degrees Celsius, right? So instantly in your head, this should ring a little bell. We can't take away 12 from 8, so we're going to be dealing with negative numbers. And let's say you're a bit, iffy with working with negative numbers, easiest thing to do is to draw up a number line to help you. So let's say we draw a number line like this. Okay, let's say we start with like 9 degrees Celsius, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, 5, 6, negative 7, negative 8, right? Which number are we starting on? We're starting on the 8 degrees Celsius, so we're starting here. And it's a takeaway, right? Because it's takeaway, we need to go backwards to the left-hand side. So we just have to jump 12 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So our answer is negative 4 degrees Celsius. Once you get used to working with negative numbers, this will just be a very simple calculation in your head. But until you get used to that, just make sure you draw a number line on the bottom. It's very easy to do. As long as you're not working with like massive numbers, you should be able to figure out the answer. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 4. Again, pause the video here and take a second to read through the question. Now that you've had a chance to read through the question, let's go through it and find out what the key information is. The garden is 8 meters long and 6 meters wide. What is the area of the garden in square meters? Okay, Again, this is a pretty straightforward question. So we know that we've got a garden, we've been given the dimensions, and we're asked to figure out the area of the garden. We've been told we need to give the answer in square meters, right? With questions like this, it's always just easier to draw a diagram. So because the length and the width aren't equal, instantly in my head, I'm going to draw a rectangle, right? Because the length is longer than the width. Now, what are they telling us the length is? It's 8 meters. And the width is 6 meters. That instantly means these two sides have to be 8 meters and 6 meters as well. What are they asking us to figure out? The area. So, if you think back, how do we figure out the area of a rectangle? It is length times width, right? And we know what the length and the width are. So the length is 8 meters and the width is 6 meters. 8 times 6 is 48. And this answer becomes meters squared or square meters. Cool. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 5. Again, pause the video here and take a second to read through the question. Okay, now that you've had a chance to read through the question, let's go through it. Emma reads 15 pages of a book every day. If she continues reading at this rate, how many pages will she have read in 3 weeks? So, let's look at what we've highlighted. So we know that Emma reads 15 pages a day, essentially, right? And we've been told that this is a consistent rate. This happens every single day. She doesn't read more pages, she doesn't read less pages, she reads 15 pages every single day. And we're being asked to figure out how many pages she will have read in 3 weeks' time. So, we're being asked to figure out how many pages in 3 weeks, right? So, how many days are there in a week? We know that there are 7 days in a week. So, before we kind of get ahead of ourselves and try to figure out 3 weeks, sometimes it's just easier to figure out how many pages she's going to have read in a week and then go from there. So, if it's 15 pages a day, and we know that a week has 7 days, we can just go, how many in 7 days? So, to go from 1 day to 7 days, we're multiplying by 7. We need to match that rate, right? So to balance that out, we need to multiply this side by 7 as well. So on the side, you can go 15 times 7. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 3 is 10. It's 105. So from that, we know that Emma reads 105 pages in 7 days or 1 week, right? Because 7 days equals 1 week. Now, is the question asking us to figure out how many pages she's read in 1 week? No, we're being asked how many in 3 weeks. So again, just looking at this step by step. So to go from 1 week to 3 weeks, we know that we need to multiply by 3 to go, and we need to balance it out on this side as well. So we multiply this side by 3 as well. Again, just do that multiplication on the side. 105 times 3. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 0 is 0, but you've got the 1 there, so it's 1. And 3 times 1 is 3. So, she's going to have read 315 pages. So our answer is 315 pages.